Welcome to the deep dive, where we really try to cut through all the noise and, get straight to the stuff that actually matters. Have you ever felt that? That sort of background hum.
Yeah.
It's feeling the world's moving like really fast, almost too fast to keep track of. It's that sense that somewhere, someone's already using these incredible new tools, making money, automating their life, living, I don't know, 10 times faster. And there's that little voice, right? Whispering. You're not paying attention. You're kind of already behind. And when we talk about this speed, this acceleration, there's one thing right at the front. Artificial intelligence, AI. And this isn't just theory anymore, not like research papers or sci-fi movies. These tools, they're here. They're working now. People, businesses, they're using them. And they're changing things, how we live day to day, whether we see it clearly or not. So today, that's our mission. We want to give you a shortcut. I want to understand 5 really groundbreaking, honestly, kind of insane AI tools. Tools that are already pretty silently changing how we live, learn, and work as we head towards 2025. These aren't just like cool gadgets. It's a real shift.
That's exactly it. What's really striking is just how fast AI is moving from being this, niche thing, maybe a cool gadget, to something essential, like a utility. We're seeing a fundamental shift happen right now. The tools we're about to look at aren't just small upgrades. They really show how AI is getting woven into the basic fabric of what we do, from really complex stuff like software engineering to huge leaps in creativity, even boosting our own personal productivity in ways we haven't seen before. Understanding this stuff isn't just about staying current. It's about grasping these fundamental changes in, well, how value gets created, how work gets done, what skills even matter anymore in this changing world. So yeah, this deep dive, it's really designed to give you that critical edge, help you navigate what's coming with a bit more confidence, a bit more foresight.
Absolutely. So if you're ready to kind of peel back the curtain, see what's really transforming things, let's unpack this. We're going from code to visuals to sound,
Mm.
scaling content, and then even augmenting how you think. Let's dive in.
Dev AI, the autonomous software engineer.
Okay, let's kick things off with Devon AI. In this one, I mean, even for those of us who follow AI pretty closely, it feels like a real jump into tomorrow. Now, lots of AIs can help with coding, right? Finish lines of code, suggest functions, maybe write small scripts. But Devon AI, it's different. They're calling it the world's first autonomous software engineer. Just that phrase alone, autonomous software engineer, that should make you sit up a bit. It suggests a level of independence, of capability. That's just new.
Right, and it's not just marketing hype. It seems to be backed by some pretty serious capability. Think about how complex software development really is. You've got understanding what the user wants, planning the architecture, writing the code, then debugging it, which can be a nightmare, running tests, deploying the whole thing. Devon AI is basically designed to handle that entire process on its own, from just a high-level command. Imagine just telling it, hey, build me a working e-commerce site for selling handmade candles, needs secure payments, inventory tracking, and it just does it, orchestrates all those steps.
Wow.
It's not just suggesting code snippets. It's like the whole engineering team condensed.
That's actually mind-boggling. So just to be clear on the functionality,
Uh-huh.
we're saying it can build a whole complex website from scratch.
Yeah.
Or like if I have code already, you can go find a bug in thousands of lines, fix it, deploy the app to the cloud, all without me writing code or messing with servers. I describe what I want.
Oh,
And it handles the messy, complicated stuff.
precisely. That's the goal. The user experience is meant to feel simple, right? But underneath, the technical complexity is huge. You tell it what you want. Maybe a new feature, maybe a bug fix, maybe a brand new app idea. Devon takes that natural language, your description, and turns it into concrete steps. It makes its own plan, breaks the problem down kind of like a human engineer would. Then it just starts executing, writing code, figuring out what other software it needs, maybe setting up its own little coding environment. And here's the kicker. If it hits an error, it doesn't just stop. It apparently learns from the error, tries to fix it itself, and tries again.
Okay, that's way beyond just auto-completing code.
Exactly. It's executing the whole development process. You could say, make a simple web calculator, needs to handle scientific notation. Boom, it could generate the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, maybe even put it on a server for you. Or this Python script leaks memory, find it and fix it. And it would analyze, suggest, and implement.
Okay, so this leads directly to the elephant in the room, right? The question everyone immediately asks, what does this mean for jobs, for coders, software developers? If AI can do all this, are coding jobs just going away?
Yeah, that's the big one. And it's really important to be nuanced here. The source material says coding jobs are evolving fast. It's probably not about elimination, not wholesale anyway, but more about a really deep transformation of the role. For professional developers, it likely means the repetitive stuff, the boilerplate code, the low-level tasks that take up a lot of time, that gets offloaded to AI, which frees up the humans, right, to focus on the higher-level stuff. Designing the overall system architecture, understanding tricky business needs, strategy, innovation, connecting different systems together. So the role changes. Less about typing out every line of code, more about being a system architect, maybe an AI prompt engineer, a strategic thinker.
Like giving a carpenter power tools and a smart assistant, not replacing them entirely.
Exactly. Their work gets elevated, more conceptual, more strategic, maybe more valuable, ultimately. The skills needed will change fast, though. Less about memorizing syntax, more about breaking down problems, thinking critically, guiding these AI agents.
Okay, so for existing developers, it's about moving up the value chain, tackling bigger challenges. Makes sense. But what about the person who isn't a coder right now? Because the source also says, even if you're not a developer, Devin can help you create apps for business, passive income, or automation. It sounds huge. What does this really mean for someone with a great idea but zero coding background? Feels like you could really democratize things.
Oh, absolutely. This is where it gets really interesting in terms of democratizing creation and even entrepreneurship. Think about it. Historically, if you had a software idea, you had to learn to code for years or hire expensive developers or find an agency. We're big barriers,
Yeah,
right?
barriers, yeah.
Devin potentially just lowers that barrier dramatically. An entrepreneur, a small business owner, someone with a cool idea, they can now just describe their vision. Maybe it's a simple tool to automate something in their business, a niche mobile app, a website for passive income. They explain it in plain English, and the AI does the heavy lifting, writing the code, setting up databases, servers, deploying it.
So an individual could launch a startup based on an app they built with AI in way less time and for way less money.
That's the potential, yeah. A local restaurant builds its own ordering system. A consultant creates a custom client tool. A hobbyist launches a game concept. It empowers people who previously couldn't build these things, people who didn't have the technical teams or the big budgets.
Wow.
It could really speed up innovation for everyone, not just the tech crowd. The focus shifts, right? Less on how to code, more on what to build, why it's important, what problem it solves. And this isn't some far-off future idea. It's starting to happen now. It changes who gets to be a builder online. It expands the pool of innovators like crazy.
Video AI, the mid-journey of video.
Okay, so moving from autonomous code with Devin AI, let's pivot to something super visual. And for anyone creating content, this is just as mind-blowing. Video AI. Now, a lot of you listening probably know Midjourney, right? It basically changed image generation overnight. Anyone could create amazing pictures from text prompts. Well, Video AI, they're calling it the Midjourney of video. And if that comparison holds up, we're talking about a massive leap for making moving pictures.
Yeah, that analogy is spot on. It really captures the power and, crucially, the accessibility video AI is bringing. Just like Midjourney opened up image creation, video is doing that for video. It basically takes the whole complicated, expensive process of making video cameras, crews, sets, actors, lights, editing, and boils it down to typing some words. It's a fundamental shift, really, from capturing reality to, well, synthesizing it.
And what does that actually look like? The source says you just type what you want, and it generates stunning, real-looking videos with actors, motion, and realistic speech. When they say stunning, real-looking, are we talking like actually getting close to stuff that looks like it was filmed?
Yeah.
Because that's a huge jump from AI video even just a year or two back, which often felt off, a bit uncanny.
Yeah, the key word there is rapid advancement. AI video is still evolving, no doubt, but tools like Video are closing that gap between synthetic and real footage incredibly fast. Stunning real-looking implies it can create convincing human figures, detailed environments that look real, natural camera movements like you'd see in a movie, and even accurate lip-syncing if there's dialogue. So it's not just cartoons or simple clips. It's aiming for photorealism, for cinematic quality. Imagine describing a scene, film noir detective walking down a rainy neon-lit street at night looking at an old photo looks thoughtful. And Video AI just generates that whole sequence with a realistic-looking actor, the rain effects, the lighting, maybe even the mood. You could specify camera angles, lighting, character emotions, all through text.
That is seriously disruptive, not just for hobbyists, but for whole industries. And the source goes even further. It says, in just 3-5 years, tools like Vdoo will eliminate the need for traditional cameras and production studios.
Great.
That's a bold claim. It must send a chill down the spine of some traditional filmmakers. What does AI filmmaking actually mean here, and who's this really for?
Well, that prediction points towards a future where the physical stuff, the logistics of filmmaking, expensive cameras, big sets, complicated lighting, large crews, actors on location might become optional, or at least much less necessary for a lot of projects. So AI filmmaking, using tools like Vdoo, means creators. Well, everyone from YouTubers and social media folks to marketers, ad agencies, even independent filmmakers can skip a lot of those traditional steps.
Right.
For a YouTuber just starting out, maybe generating cool intros, B-roll footage, or even whole explainer videos without filming themselves or hiring anyone. For marketers, creating tons of personalized ads for different niches super fast without shooting expensive commercials. Imagine testing dozens of ad versions easily.
Yeah. Okay.
And for indie filmmakers, it could unlock stories that were too expensive before. Complex sci-fi with alien worlds, fantasy epics, generated just by describing them. No green screens, no massive CGI budgets needed, potentially.
It just lowers the barrier to making professional-looking stuff so dramatically.
Exactly. Which leads to a really interesting question, doesn't it? How does this actually change the creative process itself? Does it, truly democratize storytelling? Let more diverse voices and visions come through because the tech and money barriers are lower?
Right.
Or does it risk making things look too similar? Or maybe it creates totally new ways of telling stories that only AI can do. What's fascinating is how it shifts the focus.
Yeah.
Less on the how of making the video, more on the what, the idea, the imagination. You can prototype visual ideas almost instantly, try things out, refine your vision at incredible speed. It removes so much friction from visual storytelling.
Suno AI music creation demystified.
All right, so Devon AI handles code, Vdoo AI does visuals, Suno AI is set to shake up the world of sound. And honestly, this one might be the most surprising for a lot of people. The source material literally said, this one blew my mind. And after looking into it, yeah, I totally get why. Suno AI's main thing is generating full music tracks, like complete songs with vocals, instruments, beats, all in seconds. That's a lot. It feels like it skips over so much what goes into making music traditionally.
It absolutely does. I mean, for basically all of history, making music meant learning an instrument or singing, having access to studios, knowing production techniques. Suno AI just kind of abstracts a lot of that technical stuff away. And it's not just making a simple tune or a basic beat, it's synthesizing a whole piece of music. Lyrics, a lead vocal, backing vocals, full instrumentation, all sounding coherent, often surprisingly good, and incredibly fast.
Yeah.
It's like having a songwriter, a band, a singer, and a producer all ready to go, just waiting for your command.
And the example they gave really drives it home. You can literally type, make a 90s-style hip-hop track about space travel, and it'll do it. That's so specific. It's not just generic background music. It understands genre, mood, a really unique theme, and spits out a whole song almost instantly. Think about the creative possibilities there. Or just trying out a quick song idea.
It's genuinely revolutionary,
Yeah.
and it shows how good AI is getting at understanding abstract things like mood or genre and turning them into actual creative output. That prompt, 90s hip-hop about space travel, shows it can pull from huge amounts of data about music styles, lyrics, vocals, rhythms, and then blend them together in a way that makes sense, creatively.
Right.
So creators don't necessarily need years of music theory or practice or even a singer to bring an idea to life. You can try out ideas super fast, different genres, different tempos, different lyrics, different moods, just by typing. Maybe you want a smooth jazz track about a rainy morning, or a folk song about lost love with some Celtic vibes. It aims to deliver.
That's wild.
It's a total game changer for quickly trying out ideas in music, sound design, maybe making custom soundtracks for videos or games. The barrier to just trying something is basically gone.
So how are people actually using this? The source says creators are building full albums, making intros for their content, even monetizing AI music without needing a studio. This idea that music creation just got democratized.
And it sounds amazing.
But maybe a little scary for the traditional music industry too, right?
Oh, it's a fascinating mix of technology and art, and yeah, the implications are pretty complex. On one side, democratizing music means anyone with an idea, and Suno AI can be a producer, a songwriter, maybe even release an album. It drops the barrier way down, so you could see a flood of new voices, new sounds, stuff that never would have gotten made through the old system.
Yeah, like indie creators needing custom music for their videos, right? Royalty-free stuff.
Exactly. Or small businesses needing jingles, or just hobbyists wanting to make music without spending years learning or buying gear. It's incredibly freeing for a lot of people.
But what about the other side? Copyright, originality.
Right. That's the tricky part the industry is wrestling with now. If an AI makes music, who owns it? What does original even mean if the AI learned from millions of human songs?
Hmm. Big questions.
Definitely. Those legal and ethical things are still being figured out, but the immediate impact on making music is clear. The need for expensive studios, engineers, session musicians. It's reduced for many kinds of projects. Individual creators can build whole portfolios, create sound identities for their brands, experiment with weird new genres, all from their computer. It connects the vision to the execution, regardless of musical background or budget. It really changes how music gets made and shared, pushing the definition of musician or artist. It opens up totally new sonic worlds.
Opus Clip, the content scaling game changer.
Okay, let's switch gears and talk about a huge headache for anyone making content online, especially video creators. You spend ages, maybe days, on a great long YouTube video or a detailed podcast or presentation, and then you realize, to get it seen, you need to chop it into like a dozen little clips for TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, LinkedIn, all those places. It's super tedious, takes forever, often needs a dedicated editor. So ever just wish that long video could magically turn itself into viral shorts? Well, Opus Clip is the AI tool aiming to do exactly that. And yeah, it's a massive game changer for content creators.
Yeah, this tool hits a really critical pain point in today's, crazy attention economy.
Yeah.
Repurposing content and scaling it out. There's just so much information out there. Creators need to be everywhere, right? Showing their stuff in different formats on different platforms to catch different people. Doing that manually, it just eats up time, money, often needs a whole team, editors, transcribers, social media managers. Opus Clip automates a huge chunk of that, freeing up so much time and creative energy.
Exactly. So how does it actually do that? The source says it uses AI to cut your videos into short, viral-ready clips with subtitles, zoom cuts, emojis, and perfect hooks. So it's not just randomly slicing it, it's actually applying smart editing and making it look professional automatically. How does it find those perfect hooks and add that polish?
That's the really clever part, where the AI comes in. Opus Clip isn't just cutting at random time intervals. It uses some pretty sophisticated AI to actually understand the video, the flow, the dialogue, the moments that are likely to grab attention. It looks for the most compelling bits, the hooks. Moments with high energy, key takeaways, surprising statements, emotional points. Like an AI producer, pick out the best sound bites.
Okay, so it finds the good parts.
Right. And then it automatically makes those clips look good for short-form video. It adds captions, so subtitles that are essential because people watch with the sound off. It has dynamic zoom cuts, those punch-ins that keep your eye moving. And yeah, it can even sprinkle in relevant emojis or maybe some B-roll footage to make it more engaging.
Wow, so the output is actually ready to go, polished and optimized.
That's the goal. Not just a raw clip, but something designed to grab attention and work well on platforms like TikTok or Reels. It saves creators potentially hours and hours of really detailed manual editing for every single long video they make. Lets them focus on making more great long-form stuff, knowing the short clips are basically handled.
That sounds like a massive productivity boost for anyone trying to build an audience or a brand. The source mentions someone like Alex Hormozy using this to scale their content across platforms without spending hours editing. That really nails the whole work smart, not hard idea. How does a tool like Opus Clip change the game for content strategy and just getting stuff done, especially for individuals or small teams?
It fundamentally changes the workflow. Traditionally, you might have one big effort for the long video and then a totally separate time-sucking process for all the short clips. With Opus Clip, that long video becomes the main asset, the source, and the short clips become almost automatic, intelligent byproducts.
Right, like derivatives.
Exactly. So creators can pour their energy into making one really good, valuable piece of long-form content and let the AI handle spreading it out smartly. For marketers, it means faster campaigns, more consistent messaging everywhere, and you can easily test maybe dozens of different short clips from one video to see what works best.
That's huge for testing.
Yeah. And for individual creators, it just frees up so much time. Instead of spending, say, 5 or 10 hours cutting up each video, they can use that time to make more content, talk to their audience more, try new things, It boosts engagement because you're showing up consistently everywhere people watch stuff, whether they want the deep dive or just a quick hit. It really lets smaller creators or teams punch above their weight in terms of how much content they can put out there. Shifts the bottleneck away from manual labor towards strategy and ideas.
Superhuman AI, your intelligent second brain.
All right, last stop on our deep dive today. A tool that promises to tackle something most of us deal with every single day, and often, frankly, hate: email. For so many people, email is just this black hole, right? Swallows hours of your day, endless threads, vague requests, always feeling behind. But what if email could be, like the source says, the fastest email experience on Earth? And even more interesting, your second brain. Let's talk about superhuman AI.
Yeah, this tool really shows how AI is moving beyond just automating simple tasks. It's getting into genuine cognitive augmentation. It's not just about sending emails faster. It's about intelligently helping you with complex communication, managing information, basically becoming an extension of how you think, a personalized knowledge assistant. It's about freeing up your own mental bandwidth for the important stuff.
Okay, so beyond just speed, what are these advanced communication assistance capabilities? The source says it doesn't just summarize and draft replies, but it understands your tone, your schedule, and responds like you would. That sounds incredibly sophisticated, that level of personalization. It's almost like having a digital clone of your professional self handling your inbox.
It is pretty sophisticated, yeah. And that's where the second brain idea really clicks. Most email apps are just, well, boxes for messages. Superhuman AI tries to actively process and understand the content of your emails within the context of everything else you do. So when it summarizes, it's not just pulling out keywords, it's getting the main point, identifying action items, maybe flagging urgency based on who sent it or what it's about.
Okay.
And when it drafts replies, it's not using generic templates. It learns from you. It analyzes your past emails, how you phrase things, your typical tone, formal, casual, direct, whatever, your vocabulary, even your schedule and commitments. And it generates replies that actually sound like they came from you.
So it learns my style.
Exactly. Deep learning applied to your unique communication fingerprint. It understands your relationships, your projects, your availability. So it can suggest replies that aren't just correct, but are appropriate for the situation, match your personal brand, and even consider your workload. Like if someone emails about a meeting but you're busy, it could draft a polite reschedule suggestion using your typical phrasing, offering times you're actually free.
Wow.
Or if a client asks a complicated question, it could pull relevant details from past emails, summarize them, and draft a solid answer for you to review. It just takes a huge amount of the mental work out of managing tons of complex emails. Like having an assistant who's laser focused on mastering how you communicate. Gives you back hours of brain power.
That sounds absolutely incredible for productivity.
Yeah.
Especially for people whose job is mostly communication writers, consultants, salespeople, executives. The source says writers and professionals are saving hours every week. So this idea of AI as a second brain, what does that really mean for, our own mental load, how we make decisions, how efficient we are?
Well, for anyone drowning in information, which is basically everyone now, right? Managing that cognitive load is key to performing well and not burning out. Our brains are amazing at creativity, strategy, empathy, but not so great at remembering every detail from hundreds of emails or instantly crafting perfect replies under pressure.
Totally.
Superhuman AI acts like this external memory bank and processing chip, just for your communications. It finds info instantly, reminds you about stuff, flags things you need to follow up on, helps you reply quickly but thoughtfully so it frees up your actual brain bandwidth. Instead of digging through old emails, stressing over wording, constantly switching tasks, you can use that energy for the real human stuff.
The higher level thinking.
Exactly. Creative ideas, deep strategic thought, connecting with people, solving complex problems. It helps you make better decisions faster because the key info is right there, summarized. And for communication efficiency, it means you handle more, respond faster, have better conversations without feeling totally swamped or sacrificing quality. It lets professionals stay super responsive and thoughtful, even with a crazy inbox. Helps you be more present and effective where it counts. And if you zoom out, connect it to the bigger picture. This isn't just about faster email, is it?
No, it really isn't.
It's about using AI to actually extend our cognitive abilities at work, redefining what inbox zero or just being on top of things even means. It's fundamentally changing how we manage the sheer flood of information in modern life. Outro.
So there you have it. 5 truly insane AI tools we just unpacked. And they're not science fiction. They're here, changing things right now. Devin AI, the autonomous coder building apps. Vidu AI, making stunning videos from text, Suno AI, generating full songs in seconds, Opus Clip, automating viral video creation, and Superhuman AI, acting as your smart communication assistant, your second brain. And remember that feeling we started with. If you're not using these tools, you're already one step behind. Well, hey, here's the good news. You just listened to this deep dive. You know about them now. That knowledge, it's yours. You've seen how these aren't just cool ideas, but powerful tools you can potentially access. Tools changing industries, jobs, how we create online. So the most important thing, take action. Even just pick one that sounded interesting. Explore it. Try it out today. Play with it. See how it might fit into your life, your work, your creativity. That's how you stay ahead, right? By engaging.
Exactly. And maybe just one final thought to leave you with, something to kind of chew on. We've talked about how these tools automate, simplify, democratize really complex things. They give us these almost superhuman abilities in coding, video, music, content, communication. So the really deep question becomes, as AI takes over more of the doing, maybe even some of the thinking, how does that change our basic definition of work? Of creativity, maybe even human connection? Does it free us up, let us be more strategic, more creative, more empathetic, focus on the stuff only humans can do? Or does it change what skill or talent even means? Do we all need to become expert AI whisperers or prompt engineers, things we couldn't even imagine a few years back? Staying future-proof in this world, it's not just knowing what the tools are, it's thinking deeply about how they change our roles, our potential, how they open up totally new ways to innovate and create. So keep asking those questions, stay curious, keep exploring, because this deep dive into tomorrow really never stops.